You have found your way down to the Mac Cave. Welcome everybody to Mac Cave Gaming and another Video Games Monthly unboxing. Video Games Monthly, if you're not familiar with it, is a monthly service where you get a mystery box every month that contains video games, retro games to be specific, ranging from Atari 2600 all the way through to the PlayStation 4. Now, I am signed up to receive 5 games per month. We did that recently over the last couple months. I did an upgrade to it, and now we are kicking off the new year 2025 with our first box. Also, we may get some bonus games, so we might get a 1-up card, a 2-up card, maybe even a 3-up card, and get bonus games added on top of the 5 that we're already signed up for. We keep the box turned around so that I can't see inside the box, you can't see inside the box, and it's a surprise for all of us. The time has come to dive into this box, Video Games Monthly. Let's take out the Leatherman blade, and we're going to get into this thing. Let's get into this box. Alright, give it the slice down the middle. Come on, come out the wrapper. There we go. Now, I mentioned it earlier, this is a service you sign up for monthly to get games inside a mystery box. You can reach out to the company. Video Games Monthly is really cool. I've reached out to them a couple times. They actually helped me out. I asked them if we could do a movie-based month, and they gave me a box full of movie tie-in video games. It was awesome. Let's see if we can find the paperwork. Let's find the paperwork. I found a trinket. I think it's a sticker. Let's see what the trinket is. This definitely feels like a sticker. Here we go. Oh man, here we go. We got a Floyd sticker. Oh, focus in. And we got a cool vinyl. Oh, there it goes. We got a cool little vinyl sticker of them. The Floyd Mania sticker. These are cool. It's like one of those nice like thick stickers. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. My kids love when we get the stickers. They always put them onto little projects and stuff like that. Or maybe I'll put it up on my shelf over here. Now let's see what the paperwork says here. We should get a card, which I got it right here. Let's find out if we got any bonus games. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! We've got our standard Video Games Monthly card. So, no bonus games, which means we have 5 games inside this box. This card always tells you about the service and that you can share out the stuff about your unboxing on social media, and it gives you an opportunity to win some more games. So now we're going to find out what we have going on for game number 1. Here we go, guys. All right, what are we thinking we're getting this time around? I feel a bubble wrap. I feel a cartridge. I feel... This is a Nintendo cartridge. We got an NES cartridge right here, guys. I'm going to flip it around so that the sticker is facing when I pull this out of here. All right, guys, here we go. Our first game of 2025 is an NES cartridge. Let's find out what we got. 3, 2, 1. Road Blasters. Okay, so here's one. I think I remember this one. This, I believe, was an arcade port. Definitely looks like an arcade-style driving shoot-'em-up. Which I love stuff like that. Games like that are always a ton of fun. I love the artwork on there on the sticker. Cartridge is in really nice condition. The sticker looks great. Let's take a quick peek at the pins. It's looking nice and clean in there. I know this you can never really see too good with that, but the pins look really nice. As always, I will give them a good cleaning with the 1-up card to make sure that everything is good with this, and these are perfect to replay in my original NES hardware and also in my Hyperkin Retron 5. So our first game of the month, going in 8-bit classic with Road Blasters on the Nintendo Entertainment System. We've got some information about the game courtesy of Ted's Nerd World. Says Road Blasters is a vehicular combat game released in arcades by Atari Games in 1987. The player navigates an armed sports car through 50 different rally races, getting to the finish line before running out of fuel. Ports were released for a variety of home systems by Tengen and US Gold. Oh, US Gold, that's who's on here, down on the bottom. Okay, that's good to know. Let's jump in to number 2. Let's see what we got. Get past the bubble wrap here. I've got another cartridge. I've got, this is NES? Is it Tengen? No, I think this is standard NES. All right, here we go. We got another NES cart coming at us. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, guys. We're going to have to stream this one. We're going to have to stream this one for multiple reasons. One, because I grew up loving it. And two, because the world hates it. Everybody, I give you Rambo on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Guys, this game tortured so many players back in the 80s. This plays very similar to Zelda 2 in the aspect of like the side scrolling. And then it also kind of functions like the Friday the 13th game, where you have to go like up and down to navigate to different parts on the map. Here was the killer about this, guys. Look at this, look at the cover art, right? You got Rambo, clearly a shot from like Rambo 2, from First Blood Part 2, and he's got his machine gun and everything. Well, for most of this game, you just have a knife. And it's practically useless. I used to rent this game all the time. Because one, I'm a huge Stallone fan and always have been since I was a little kid. And Rambo movies were some of my top favorite movies. And when they made a video game out of it, I had to play it. Now, being little at that time, I just kept renting it. I would save up some money and go get, you know, a game for the weekend. This was a frequent rental. I've never beaten the game though, and I would love to do that. So when I find an opportunity like this, very similar to when we played the Beetlejuice game, again, a game that tons of people hated, but when I get an opportunity to try to revisit a game that the majority of the world hates, but I remember loving it, I want to give it another go. Let me know down in the comments, what are your memories of Rambo on the Nintendo Entertainment System? Did you enjoy the game? Did you beat the game? Or did you absolutely despise this game? We've got some information from Ted here. It says the ending sequence allows the player to throw a giant kanji character, or an Akari, towards Murdoch after returning to the base, which inexplicably turns Murdoch into a frog. Is that real? Ted, I have new goals if that's real, because I feel like we need to do that on a live stream. Rambo from Acclaim on the Nintendo Entertainment System. 2 games in, and we're stacking up NES games right here. One of my favorite systems of all time. I didn't check the pins. By the way, the cartridge is looking great, and the pins look great too. This is awesome. Let's find out what's number 3. All right, let's see. Oh, we got something different now. This feels like a Genesis. I don't think it's 32X. This is a Genesis cart. All right, here we go, guys. A Sega Genesis cartridge for game number 3. Let's find out what we got in the world of 16-bit. 3, 2, 1. What do we got here? The Pagemaster, a movie tie-in game, another movie tie-in game. This is based off of the film The Pagemaster that starred Macaulay Culkin, and this was one of those movies that like incorporated live action and animation. I remember really liking that movie. That was a cool movie. I haven't watched this in years. I didn't know there was a video game based on it, but I'm also not surprised, because back then, if there was a movie that came out, especially a family movie, there was definitely going to be a movie tie-in video game. The label, it's looking pretty good. It's nicked a little bit, not too bad. It's a little faded in parts. You can see a little bit of wear and tear on the black part of the cartridge. So this thing's definitely been, you know, this thing's been played. It's been around the block a little bit, but it's overall still in plenty good condition there. Let's take a look at these pins. Now, the thing about the Sega Genesis pins is that they always had this like kind of copper brownish tone to them. So I give them a good cleaning no matter what. I mean, it looks pretty good to me for a Sega Genesis. There's a little bit of dust in there, nothing too crazy, but overall, the cartridge is looking Really good. I don't think there'll be any issues with this game popping into the system, either my actual Sega Genesis hardware or into the Hyperkin Retron 5 to make that play. So Pagemaster, I'm looking forward. This was made by Fox Interactive. Fox Interactive made one of my favorite movie tie-in games, the Die Hard trilogy, on the PlayStation 1. Let me know down in the comments, have you played the Pagemaster on the Sega Genesis, or maybe it was on the Super Nintendo as well? Did you watch the movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you grow up with this stuff, or is this brand new to you? But this is pretty cool. I love adding Sega Genesis titles to our collection. Let's see, we've got some more information coming to us courtesy of Ted's Nerd World. It says, Pagemaster, Richard Tyler can be guided through a selection of literature genre-themed levels, ranging from horror to adventure and fantasy worlds. GamePro praised the diverse gameplay, detailed graphics, and atmospheric music, but remarked that poor controls ruins the entire experience. That's a very common issue, especially when it comes to movie tie-in games, because there is a deadline to get those games out to tie in with the movie release. And sometimes things get left behind, like perfecting the controls. What do you guys think so far of what we pulled? 2 NES games, 1 Sega Genesis game. Let's go in for game number 4. Let me turn this so that we're not peeking. What do we got? What is this? Oh. Okay, we got something different. Is this Super Nintendo? No, is this? Oh, this is a Super Nintendo game, guys. That's gotta be a Super Nintendo game. That's not N64. It's too wide and too thin. All right, guys, I think we got a SNES game. Let's find out what we got. 3, 2, 1. What do we got here? Pool. Championship Pool on the Super Nintendo. I gotta say, actually, I have a pool game on the PlayStation 4. And actually, my kids love to play that too. I enjoy it too. Something about... I've always loved playing pool. I loved going to pool halls back in the day. It's just one of those things that I've always loved. And when a video game has been able to give you decent controls, I've actually had a lot of enjoyment playing games like this. Stuff like this kind of flies under the radar for a lot of people, but I've had a lot of fun with games like this. Now, I will say right off the bat, I did see the label is a bit torn there. Listen, these games are always used. These things have been loved. These things have been played. And sometimes they're not in perfect condition, but considering that tear aside, the rest of the label looks really nice. Cartridge quality is looking really good. The back end of the cartridge looks great. There's a little wear and tear on the back there, but nothing too bad. And then pins are looking really nice in there. Nothing too crazy. Actually got a decent view in there. But these are fun, especially if it's multiplayer. You can get a surprising amount of fun out of, especially the 16-bit era, of games like this. I mean, I like playing games of just like Texas Hold'em. I like playing Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or Monopoly on... Oh my god, Monopoly on the Sega Genesis is one of my favorite games. So it's little experiences like this that can actually go a long way, and it's a game you can end up finding yourself coming back to often. So, Championship Pool on the Super Nintendo, and we have some more information coming in for us. Thanks to Ted's Nerd World. Thank you very much, Ted. I appreciate it. It says the player may play against the computer or up to 7 other players using the same console using the Party Pool multiplayer option. That's awesome. Other gameplay modes include Tournament, Single Player, Computer Opponents, Freestyle, players make up your own game rules, and Challenge, Single Player and Shot Practice. That's a lot to put into a 16-bit game. That's awesome. You know, I would imagine the level's probably going to be fairly stationary, just looking at the table. So there wouldn't have to be too many crazy things to have to put into a game like this, where they can really focus on having a whole bunch of different modes. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I love adding to my Super Nintendo collection, especially because I didn't grow up with it. So the collection I have, I've been building as an adult, and I'm getting a decent collection so far of Super Nintendo games, so I'm pretty psyched about that. That's awesome, guys. Let me know down in the comments, have you played any pool games in the 16-bit era, specifically Championship Pool on the Super Nintendo? What do you think of games like that? Is that stuff you normally pass up, or do you find yourself having a surprisingly good time with those games? Let me know down in the comments, guys. We have one more game. Let's find out what's closing out this box, guys. We are all cartridges, guys. No disc-based games this month. That's awesome. Don't get me wrong, I like disc-based games, but sometimes I really want to build up my cartridges, and we have another NES title. Let's find out what the final game of the month is. 3, 2, 1. An absolute banger. Platoon on the NES. I've never owned the NES port of this game. This is made by Sunsoft. It's got the official seal from Nintendo on there. This is a game that I have wanted since I was a kid. I have never owned this. So the question is, does Platoon hold up on the Nintendo Entertainment System? Guys, what a game to end the month on. Plus, based off of just an insanely classic and iconic movie, we have some information brought to us again, courtesy of Ted's Nerd World. The Nintendo Entertainment System version was ported and published by Sunsoft in September of 1988. It was the first video game adaptation of the 1986 war film Platoon, followed by the 2002 game. I didn't know they made any more games based on Platoon. Being 2002, did that land on PlayStation 2 and GameCube and Xbox? Probably. I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know there was a later game. Did you guys play this? Let me know, guys, down in the comments and in the chat. Did you play Platoon on the NES specifically? This is another one that I think actually, I think we should stream this one as well. We've got 2 war games, actually, I think I want to stream coming up. I have to say, I think this is the winner of the month. Let's take a look back through what we got here, guys. We started everything off with Road Blasters on the NES. Again, another arcade port, as far as I could tell. We then pulled Rambo from Acclaim on the Nintendo Entertainment System, an infamous game that you either hate it or you love it. I don't think there was any in between with this game. Then we got The Page Master on the Sega Genesis, another movie tie-in game. Great family film. I'm hoping the game is a lot of fun, but we did get the warning that there were some controls issues. We then got a very different genre, and we got Championship Pool on the Super Nintendo. I think this is going to be a hidden gem right there. Finally, what I think is the winner of this month's box, Platoon. Made by Sunsoft, the official seal from Nintendo, movie tie-in game. I think this is the winner, guys. You guys let me know what is the best game of this haul for this month. Let me know down in the comments, guys. I appreciate all the feedback on it, and let me know which games you guys want to see played live here at the Mac Cave. But I think we got a pretty solid start to 2025, starting it off the right way with full-blown retro games, cartridge-based games. That's what I love. That's what I absolutely love. If you guys have any suggestions of game systems that you would like to see the games pulled for in these video games monthly boxes, let me know in the comments as well. If I have the system, I will add it to the list. I got quite a few of them, so there's a lot of opportunity in there. But guys, Video Games Monthly for 2025, January's box is off to a great start with 8-bit games and 16-bit games, all cartridge-based. It was a fun poll right here. What were your favorites? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, remember, keep retro gaming alive, because one day, your games will be retro too.